The housing market has been super hot recently, and with that, a lot of people are wondering if there's going to be a crash or if they should buy now. So in this video, we're going to go over if it's best to buy right now in 2021, early 2022, or if you should wait for some kind of correction in the market. What is the likelihood of that happening? Look, the housing market has been super crazy, so make sure you stick around to the end of this video. And do me a favor, drop a like and please subscribe to the channel because it does help out the channel quite a lot. And with that, let's get right into whether you should buy now or if you should wait. All right, so let's talk about the variables that we see in the housing market right now. What makes the housing market so hot? Why are people saying it's so hot? Why is the media saying that there's going to be a housing market crash? These are all things that are valid concerns. So as you can see right here in my slide, the current market has low inventory and has very high demand. So what does that mean? Basically, a lot of people are not selling their homes right now. They're holding on to their property, their valuable real estate. It's understandable, right? I work here in the Bergen County, northern New Jersey area. We are right next to Manhattan. Actually, the only county that has a significant suburb that actually borders the city of Manhattan. You know, you have Westchester up in New York, but it's separated by the Bronx. You have Long Island, Nassau County, separated by Queens and Brooklyn. And then you have over here on the other side of the Hudson, Jersey, take the George Washington Bridge right over into New York City, and boom, you're in Manhattan. It's an amazing place, and clearly it's very desirable because of that location, and housing prices are definitely higher here than in most of the state of New Jersey. So we have very low inventory. That makes the housing prices go up even higher. And we also have very high buyer demand. So we have a ton of buyers who are looking to purchase the same home. Basically, that's what it means. When there's a town that's very desirable, top tier schools, beautiful houses, a lot of people want to move there at the same time. And when there's only 7 houses on the market, whereas 2 years ago there was 50 houses on the market in that specific town, you all of a sudden have a massive pool of buyers who are all trying to buy the same exact house. It causes these crazy multiple offer situations in which the houses can go 15, 30, 50, 80, $100,000 over asking, depending on how beautiful the house is, what the comps look like. Various variables come into play when dealing with these multiple offer situations. Next variable that we have right now that's going on that's really driving a very hot housing market is these extremely low interest rates. So when we have interest rates sitting at 3.0 to 3.5%, that is historical, just so low, it's insane. Mostly across the history of time, interest rates are around 5 to 7%. So it's that the fact that we've sustained these for such a long time. I think we had 3% interest rates really start kicking in 2018, 2019, and we went all the way down to the twos, almost literally low twos last year, 2020, early 2021, still a little bit. And so we have some insanely low interest rates. Basically, it gives buyers a ton of borrowing power because they can afford bigger houses when their monthly payment is smaller because they're not paying so much in interest. Simply how that works. The median price for single family residence is range bound in the state of New Jersey. Right now, I track the market every single month. I always do my Bergen County single family residential real estate market update. And what we've seen is a median housing price from 605 all the way up to 650. Actually, the 650 was in the summertime. We dipped down to 605 in the fall, obviously still fall, but just in November, we just bumped back up to 620,000. So it seems like the median price is pretty range bound. Keep in mind the highest median price that we had in 2020 was in September of 2020 when the median price in Bergen County finally broke the 600s, and it actually was $610,000 for the month of September 2020. Dipped right back down after that, right back into the high 500,000s. But come 2021, we have been range bound in the 600,000s, low to mid 600,000s. Okay, so what other variables are coming into play on the news? You're going to see these big data companies. We have Zillow, we have Goldman Sachs, we have CoreLogic. Goldman Sachs expects a 16% housing price increase next year. We have Zillow with a 14% increase in housing prices next year. We have Fannie Mae, the main lender for the entire country, expecting a 7 to 8% boost in housing prices next year. And we have CoreLogic even expecting a moderate 2% housing price increase. basically the bottom line is nobody can see any data that indicates a housing market slowdown. We'll get to that in just a second. And then oh yeah, okay, that's exactly where we are right now. We're far away from a housing market correction. So how do I say that with such confidence? Look, I'll be able to see a change in the housing market that indicates a housing market correction or slowdown. And it's really going to be with the use of a single metric. It's called months of inventory. Right now in a lot of towns, we have less than 1 month of inventory, which means that all the houses on the market would sell and there'd be zero left within a month if no new houses came on the market. So when we start seeing this months of inventory build up, we know that the market is changing. With it being historically literally so low right now, it is such a strong seller's market, it's unbelievable. We call a balanced market somewhere to 5 to 6 months of inventory. On average in Bergen County, we went to 2.1 a couple times in the past 2 years. Most of the time it's been under 2, and in some towns I literally see 0.4 months of inventory, which means you have about 12 days of inventory on the market if no new houses came on the market. So it is very, very hot. There are so many buyers. What kind of catalyst can cause a change in the direction of the housing market? Boosted interest rates. That is the number one thing. And I will share with you that I do think that 2022 is going to have these boosted interest rates. Look, inflation is definitely stronger than most of us think it is. So it's going to cost more dollars to buy the same amount of house. Your dollar is going to have less purchasing power. So there's that. That's a big factor. There's also another big factor that most of the homeowners in America right now are Generation Y and baby boomers. And what do we have? We have a smaller population size of Generation Y and baby boomers than we do of millennials and Gen Zers. So when these millennials and Gen Zers who are now entering the housing market want houses, well, the same infrastructure that existed for our parents and grandparents is where they live right now. It's not like there's more places to build in these hot areas. So now you have a huge population pouring into the same exact geographic location. There's simply not enough houses for the amount of people that want houses. So if you use simple supply and demand metrics for that, there is no prediction or no sign of a housing market correction anywhere in the near future. So that's kind of how I see it. Feel free to agree or disagree with me. I would love to know, so please drop your opinion down in the comments below. Will we see a housing market crash? Look, we've gone up like 30% in 2 years. That's pretty unheard of, and it's definitely steep. But what if this is just the new normal? You know, housing prices are just in 2021, late 2020, they finally got to the same prices that they were in 2007, 2008 before the crash. So that's 11 years of, a dip before they finally got back to what if this is just where housing prices are supposed to be? They've always gone up. My parents bought a house in 1991 for $160 something thousand, and it's worth $550,000 now. That's just what it is, Nobody's complaining about that when you look at it in the long term. They're just complaining about how it went up so quickly in the short term. Meanwhile, I think it was just finding its level of support and, its supply and demand level. That's my take. Should you buy now or should you wait? I would definitely recommend buying now while these interest rates are low. If you know what your monthly payment is and you know how much you can afford and you know what your job is going to look like and you know that you have promotions coming up along the next 30 years and you're going to be making more money, if you can afford your monthly payment now, it makes a lot of sense to buy right now because there are, again, only signs of increased housing prices, no signs of decreased housing prices. Maybe a moderate pullback just because we went up so fast, but the demand is still there and it will definitely continue to eat up the supply because, hey, when it comes down to it, there's a lot of great people out there. They work hard. They deserve to buy a house. And when they're saving, they're being smart with their money. They're the perfect candidate to be able to buy a house right now. Hope you got anything out of this video. If you did, again, please subscribe. Please like this video. It helps out the channel quite a lot. Thank you so much. I'll catch you guys on the next video.